Does the name KJ Franks ring a bell? The #1 cornerback, scratch that, the #1 defensive player in all of college football history. And if you look at the back of my jersey, you'll see Franks Jr. Here in my senior year in high school in Eugene, Oregon, I'm here trying to do everything I can to live up to my father's name. Now I'm built exactly like him, 6'3", $170 soaking wet, a little bit thinner than what he was back in his day, but on the field, I do everything I can to help my team win, making plays all over the place. But where we do differ heavily is in the return game. Back in high school, he played a little bit. I tried to get in on the action, but it went left immediately. So I think I'll just stick to catching picks and just locking up receivers. Right now, I'm unranked, but with the guidance of my dad, him teaching me his techniques and just the way to play the position, I know by the end of my senior season, I'll have offers flooding in. So off rip, I'm adding Oregon to my recruitment board. But as much as I would love to follow my father's footsteps, I would love to create my own path. Playing in the SEC has always been my dream, so the Gators, they're definitely going up there as my close second. But on a humble note, if things don't go as planned, I don't have the crazy exciting senior season that I had hoped for, a school like San Jose State down in the Mountain West, I can see myself balling out there too. Now, of course, being the son of the most prolific cornerback we've ever seen in the history of the game, it comes with a lot of pros and it comes with its cons. Like how I got beat on that first play. Oh, I'm not going to hear the end of that, but I love how hard he is on me. I love his constructive criticism. In the end, it's only going to make me a better player. I was already in my head. I could hear his voice telling me exactly what I did wrong. So here on 2nd and 5, I trailed this receiver all the way across the field and I got it in my mind. I'm finna make a play, and before you know it, I got my first pick of my senior season. But I don't think I inherited my dad's soft hands. I ran this route for the receiver. I played it perfectly, but I dropped the easiest pick of my life. Probably would have been my first pick 6. But that's one thing about me. I don't get discouraged. My mistakes, they motivate me. They encourage me to go harder. And that's exactly what I do with a high IQ play, catching this pick, taking it all the way back to the crib for my first pick 6. And it's crazy, throughout my first 3 years of high school ball, I've been a starting corner, but I've never made this many plays in one game. I'm talking about tackles, interceptions, just reading the field like it's nothing. Everything just seems so simple now. And I gotta be honest, all props go to my pops. He's taught me the most important thing that I feel for a corner is patience. There's a bunch of other things that are important, but patience is what got me my second pick 6 in the same game. I didn't develop the soft hands that my dad had, but one thing that I did inherit is his quick feet and makeup speed. I get beat at the line, but I get back in position, but I drop my potential 4th pick of the game. I secured 3 picks and a win in our first game of the season, and I went from being unranked to officially being a 1-star recruit. And my journey to being a 5-star corner, the #1 defensive player in all of high school football, starts now. Not gonna lie, coming into this year, I was just raw, no real technique or skill to anything that I did. My size and athleticism pretty much carried me these first 3 years of high school. But after establishing a true relationship with my dad and him putting me on and teaching me everything he knows about the position, it's almost like I became a dog overnight, like I'm the best to ever do it, I feel. And I know that sounds crazy, but for a while I didn't understand coverages, how to play man coverage, where to line up, how do you play certain receivers, certain looks. Now it's like I understand it more than ever, and it's easy. And I guess everybody's starting to notice that the game is coming to me a little easier than ever. I'm officially a 2-star recruit in just our second game of the season, 2 back-to-back games with at least 1 pick. And my first official scholarship offer coming out of the Mountain West, San Jose State. They got a pretty decent team over there, but we all know where I got my eyes set on going. And after practice, my head coach starting to let me know that my name is starting to travel and float around the entire Mountain West. UNLV, Nevada, and Fresno State, they're all showing interest. But one of the major things that are going to separate me from every other corner in the country right now is being able to tackle, make plays in the run game, which has been kind of difficult. Don't get me wrong, I got the IQ to make the plays, but I'm 170 pounds soaking wet like I said, so at the next level, trying to tackle those big body running backs, that's going to be a problem. 1st and 10, I get this receiver a bunch of cushion, eyes on the quarterback the entire time. The second I see him turn to throw the ball, I get downhill, make a play, easiest pick of my life. And as a corner, I think that's what my bread and butter is. Of course, I could come down, play press man, get my hands on the receiver, be physical, but playing off man, being able to read the play completely, works for me every time. And here on 3rd and 10, yet another great example of what playing off man does for me personally. I give this receiver a bunch of space. He gets upfield, I get in perfect position for a game-sealing pick. And after a 2-pick performance, that interest that I got from Fresno State quickly turned into a scholarship offer. Let's go. And all of that noise and attention that was coming out of the Mountain West has trickled its way up to the Pac-12. Now we got Stanford, California, and Washington State on my trail. I'm getting interest and offers from a lot of great teams across the country, but that Oregon offer, that Florida, that LSU offer that I want the most, they haven't came in yet. So I'm trying to figure out, what do I have to do to really put myself on the map and just over the top? I'm not saying I want handouts or anything given to me because of this, but you would think with my dad being who he is, I would get a lot more love than what I am. Like, I'm KJ Frank's son, KJ Franks Jr. playing the same position at a similar size. But then again, now that I think about it, nobody knew KJ Franks had a son up until a year ago. Then on top of that, I wasn't really making any noise on the field up until this season. And that's exactly why it's so important for me to ball out here in my senior year, to put up numbers and put out film to give me a fair shot. And plays like this will definitely get scouts and coaches' attention across the nation, coming down face to face with the running back, 3rd and goal, and I make the tackle to get the stop. Let's go. One of my goals this season was to catch an interception in every single game I play this year. I've dropped the first one earlier this game, and here on 1st and 10 with 45 seconds left, I dropped the second pick opportunity in my last. After the game, I get wind that Washington and USC scouts were at the game. They showing interest. I got damn near the entire Pac-12's eyes on me. If I continue to ball, build that interest, I'll eventually turn those into scholarships. We're currently undefeated, and so is Redmond. And on the first play of the game, their number 1 receiver ran a nasty route. I got back down, made the tackle, but I couldn't make a play on that ball. Now, if it was up to me and coach gave me this authority on the field, I would have checked this into a blitz. This was obviously a run play, but instead we're stuck in this stupid deep zone. I hate it. And this right here is prime example of one of my biggest fears of the season. Teams starting to shy away from the passing game, putting it on the ground, avoiding me and just the secondary in general. We need to make plays, and more importantly, I need more picks. Last game I fell short. I dropped 2 picks, but today those mistakes will not be made. I got a deep third zone, but I check out of that. Come downhill full speed, picking up another pick, taking this one all the way back to the crib for my 3rd pick 6 of the season. And boom, just like that, after a 6 tackle and 1 interception performance, I'm officially a 3-star recruit. Before you know it, I'll be ranked amongst the ESPN top 150, and that's gonna be crazy and just surreal for me. My dad did it, and now I got an opportunity to do it as well. And like I said, that Pac-12 love is strong. California, the Golden Bears offer me a scholarship at the corner position. We going crazy, baby. Opening up this game against 2-3 Almont, I do everything I can to avoid this block. Get back downhill and make the tackle to stop them from getting the first down. Tell me I don't look exactly like my dad when I play this off-man coverage. I get back, give that cushion. I give the quarterback that look, get downhill at the perfect time, secure the pick, and my elite speed carries me to the end zone for yet another pick 6 on the season. With under 2 minutes left here in the first half, this is a prime example of me thinking I'm a lot faster than I actually am. I thought I could bake this up, but the receiver ended up burning me to the sideline, making this catch and getting out of bounds. Lined up on the wide side of the field, takes this route inside. I feel like this is an out route, and I'm 100% correct. Played it perfectly, get back into position just to drop another pick, a toe-tapping pick at that. That pick 6 and locking down every receiver that I lined up against last week earned me a scholarship to USC and Washington, but most importantly, Oregon, the one I wanted the most. I got it. And that love from the Pac-12, it continues to grow. I can now add Colorado to the list of teams that are interested in offering me a scholarship along the road. I've only allowed maybe 3 catches so far this season, and this week against an 0-6 team, this receiver lays it all out on the line to make this crazy catch, bro. This was great coverage, but an even better play by the receiver. Once I get to college and start adding on a little bit of weight to my frame, I'll be laying these running backs out. I'm already making big time plays and big tackles, but man, once I put that weight on, it's going to be even worse. When I have zones like this, it's the most difficult. I got multiple guys within my zone, a guy underneath. I got to really be responsible for pretty much all of it, but I ended up making the right play here on 3rd and 6, causing the 4th down. As much as I would like to look at myself as a ball hawking corner, what I would define that is a guy who can get there, make plays on the ball, and actually catch it. I continue to drop easy picks, but I play this so perfectly, it don't even matter. But believe it or not, after going undefeated throughout these first 6 games, GHHS would go down and score and put us in a position to have to score ourselves. But instead, Steve Merker takes a sack and we lose our first game of the season. After a terrible and unexpected loss, word came through the pipeline. The Colorado Buffs, who just showed interest, offered me a full ride scholarship, another Pac-12 offer. At this point, the only thing standing between me and becoming a 5-star recruit is my hands. Again, great coverage, expert coverage, but I dropped a pick. I play my zones right, I get in perfect position, I do everything down to a T, but when it comes to securing that pick, for some reason, I consistently drop the ball. I don't know what it is at this point. It might be the gloves. We're currently up 2 scores. Here on 1st and 10, I sat patiently on top of my zone. Didn't expect this ball to be thrown. I could have picked this off, but instead I come down to make a great tackle. Here on 1st and 10, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little bit cocky. I stay in my strafe way longer than what I'm supposed to, thinking my speed is gonna make up for any space that I give up. But instead, this quarterback puts this ball on the money and I give up a huge completion. This game is pretty much over, but we can't allow a touchdown this late in the game. So I do everything I can to sit on top of my zone, get back downhill, and absolutely clap this running back. After what I believe to be my sloppiest game of the season, I thought my ranking would drop or I would lose a star. I go online and check, I actually advanced to a 4-star recruit, so close to that 5th star. And after finding out my recruitment status wasn't affected by a terrible game, I also get more great news. I finally secured that SEC offer I wanted the most from the Florida Gators. How are we going to set the tone this week against undefeated Four Corners High School with a pick 6 to the crib? That's the only way. Taking this one back, I think this is number 4 or 5 of the season. I'm balling. It's 2nd and 8. Multiple lead blockers in front of this running back. Somehow I avoid all traffic, get in, secure tackle for only a 3-yard rush. We got 4th quarter action, and so far our defense has done a great job holding one of the better teams in the state to only 7 points throughout the first 3 quarters. Let's see if we can continue this dominance throughout the 4th. 20 seconds on the clock, 3rd and 1. If they go down and score, that's game. But the boys are going to put this one to bed. You think I've come through with a pick? Nah, my teammates stepped up big time to put this game down. And of course, after displaying straight dominance, putting up a pick 6 and just balling out how I do against one of the better teams in the state, right after the game, LSU and TCU offered me scholarships on the spot. And to no surprise, the Pac-12 ain't done recruiting me. Washington State, Utah, and UCLA, they showing interest, and without a doubt, before the season is over, I'll secure all 3 of these scholarships, no problem. Currently, I have the most interceptions and pick 6s of any other player in the entire country, but for some reason, they still have me stuck at a 4-star recruit. Like at this point, what do I have to do to earn that 5th star? Pay for it because my pops is in the NFL, and if need be, that can be arranged. But now, on a serious note, I'm on the road to chasing my father's legacy, and becoming a 5-star recruit is just step 1 in a long road of greatness. And games like this against teams that run the air out of the ball the way Bend is right now, I have to step up in the run game so that I can do more than just cover and lay the wood like I did here on 2nd and 17. We ended up in overtime with the 0-9 team somehow, but our defense stepped up, got the stop, and our offense went and got the field goal to secure the win. And oddly enough, after a very uneventful game, I received a phone call from my head coach the next morning. The Utah Utes, they sent over that scholarship offer another Pac-12 team. If they don't want to give me my 5th star, that's fine. I'll just take it. 3rd and 9 here against Raleigh Hill. I get back in coverage. Great play on the ball by me. Coming down with another pick. I don't know, maybe my 9th or 10th pick of the season. And after making such a great play on the ball just a few drives ago here on 2nd and 11, this receiver routed me up something crazy. I can't lie. That was a filthy one. Coming up towards the end of the first half, I'm giving this receiver a lot of cushion, even though he's lined up slightly more inside, which I don't usually like to do. And right here, if I was lined up just a little bit closer, this could have definitely been a pick. I'm starting to think this quarterback may have watched some film because there's a lot of questionable passes where I would usually pick, but he's putting it where it needs to be at just the right time. Any other play, I would have picked this and took this to the crib. I haven't guarded this guy much this game, but for the 2nd time, he routes me up this game. I don't know what it is. His ability to get in and out of his cuts has been something unlike I've seen all season. We end the season with a 10-1 record, and in the first round of the playoffs, I suffered a sprained ankle, so I had to sit out the remainder of the playoffs. But on a positive note, we won the state championship, so all is well in that regard. When it was all said and done, I did secure that 5th star, making me an official 5-star recruit, the #1 rated cornerback and #1 rated defensive player in the entire country. And I guess right now the only question is, with all the scholarship offers on the table, where should I go? The time has finally come. Out of 14 scholarship offers, I'll be accepting 1, but the one that I have in mind goes completely against my entire mindset going into my senior season of high school. From the moment I met my dad and knowing him to be the most legendary cornerback to ever play college football, all I wanted to do from that moment is chase his legacy. But in the end, after thinking about everything and going through this entire process, that's not what I want. But what do I want, you ask? To walk in my own path, create my own legacy, and I can do that here, still in the Pac-12 like my dad did, but at the University of California. Now, I wasn't high on Cal's list of recruits, and they already were pretty loaded at the cornerback position, so coming in, I'll be number 3 on the depth chart, but I guarantee by the end of the season, I'll definitely take over that #1 cornerback spot. Coming into my first game as a Golden Bear here at Cal against Northwestern, I get sent on a blitz and I almost secure my first career stat with a sack. Going from being the #1 cornerback in the nation, strapping up the #1 receiver on every single team I played against, to being the #3 cornerback on the depth chart is a huge adjustment. And coming from a high school defense where there's a lot of man, blitzing, and things of that nature to a heavy zone defense, probably the biggest switch up and the hardest thing to adapt to of all things. But one thing about it, my high IQ and everything I learned from my dad is going to carry me through all of the nonsense. I jumped this screen perfectly, but my brick hands, they get the best of me, and that could have potentially been my first career pick six. Back in high school, I blitzed the quarterback maybe once or twice, and I completely did it on my own. But here, I've gotten multiple assigned blitzes just this game, and I'm starting to low-key love it. Easily, hands down, the most uneventful football game I've ever played in my life. Only 2 tackles. I did my job, I played my assignments, but what can you expect from the third guy on the depth chart? In high school, I wanted no parts of the return game, but I'm trying to earn my stripes here. And here against FCS West, I'm going to step in and I'm going to do my part. A 46, nearly 50-yard return. Oh, and best believe I'm going to show off my ability to get upfield and make a tackle on the kick return team, bro. I'm trying to earn my way up, and the best way to do that is to get involved in everything possible. I'm trying my absolute best to get interceptions and make plays on the ball while I'm in these weird zones. I got 2 receivers, one underneath and one over top. Not knowing which one to play, I miss out on an easy pick opportunity. We get the easy blowout over FCS West, and for the first time in my football life, I can honestly say I'm ready to practice. I can truly hone in on my skills and just get better. And of course, I got an opportunity to be put in a position to be the #1 corner in practice, and the first thing I do is catch a pick on the last rep of practice, a pick 6 at that. Now all I got to do is replicate this in game. And after stepping up, making some big time plays, taking advantage of those reps, coach said I'll be able to challenge for that #2 spot in the depth chart soon. Coming into practice this week, I'm on a straight up mission to secure my spot as the #2 corner on the depth chart. And I thank everybody across the board, myself, teammates, and coaches included. Everybody knows I should be one of the starting 2 corners, and that's exactly where I'm at for the rest of the season, and I ain't letting up. We got 0-2 Ohio State this week at home, which just sounds weird to say 0-2 Ohio State, but I travel across the field, make a big time tackle to save a potential touchdown. We're pretty much 3 games in, and I have yet to secure my first interception, and right here on 2nd and 10, I come within a hair of intercepting this ball. But so far, Ohio State's offense has been pretty stagnant, and our defense stepping up, making plays, laying big hits, going crazy, lighting it up across the field. After laying that big hit, I was forced to sit out the remainder of the game. They thought I had a concussion. I was a little wobbly, a little woozy on the field because I'm not used to hitting players of that size, but hey, 3 tackles on the day and a dub, I can't be mad at that. And man, oh man, would you look who we have this week, my dad's alma mater, Oregon University, the school that everybody thought I was going to commit to. I thought I was going to commit here myself. And man, I can't tell you how great it feels to not be the nickel corner, to actually be a starter, playing man coverage, and damn near picking up my first pick here. But after studying film and talking to my dad about how to bait up these routes in these zones and get down to make a play on the ball, I finally secured my first career pick, a pick 6 at that, and it's against Oregon out of all schools. I continuously harp on the fact that I have terrible hands, and just here in the first half, I nearly secured my 2nd pick and potentially my 2nd pick 6. It took a few games, a lot of grind, a lot of hard work to get in this position, but now that I'm a starting corner, I'm making plays all across the field, and it's just turning me up, shedding blocks, getting down, making tackles. I'm doing it all. In what should have been a multi-pick game, I balled out if you ask me. 6 tackles, 1 pick, 1 drop pick, but nonetheless, a great win over a really good Oregon team. We're on a 2-game win streak against 2 very talented teams. Washington State usually put the ball in the air non-stop, but today they've done everything in their power to avoid me, and the one time they tried me here in the first half, I damn near come down with a pick. A huge 3rd and 15 down here late in the 3rd quarter. I give up the pass underneath, but I do come down and secure the tackle to cause a 4th down. Great play by me as a corner. It's formations like this here on 1st and 10 that really set up the run well. You got trips on my side, 4 receivers split wide in total with the running back in the backfield. We ended up sniffing it out, making the play anyway, but this formation right here can be tricky. The receivers in college must have stickum on their gloves because there's no way I come down here on 3rd and 1. I get in perfect position for this pick and he snatches this ball out of my hands. Against a team that is extremely pass heavy, we completely shut Washington State's receivers down. Their #1 guy only had 5 receptions for 57 yards, complete shutdown. We got a rival game this week. First quarter action against undefeated UCLA. And once again, bro, I say it time and time again, my hands get in the way of so much of my success. I drop another interception. If you ask me, when we got a team pinned back into their own end zone, we should not be in these deep zones. We need somebody to check us in and out of these terrible plays at times like this, but we can't for some reason. And I've noticed we don't have any kind of big dog leader or captain on our defense, but every game, every single play, I'm doing everything I can to establish myself in that role specifically. With only a 10-point lead, just over 2 minutes left here in the first half, me and my fellow corner come down and we absolutely rock this quarterback, causing the forced fumble, but we don't even get the chance to recover it. We're only about halfway into the season, but I think it's safe to say we have one of the better offenses not only in the Pac-12 but in the country. In our defense, we step up against some of the better teams and we perform every time. And being seconds away from securing a shutout win against an undefeated conference foe, a rival game at that, on the road, I think it's safe to say we're one of the better teams, if not the best team in the entire Pac-12. After stepping into that number 2 corner spot, making some big time plays in game, I finally was able to challenge for the number 1 spot. And let's just say things didn't go as planned. After a few missed tackles, a drop pick, I lose the position battle. But best believe in no time, I know for a fact I will secure that number 1 corner spot. I just got to keep working. We got 5-1 Oregon State this week at home. And I'm not going to lie, I'm still feeling the rage from that lost position battle. So I'm coming in hot this week, laying the wood, catching picks, doing whatever I got to do to show them that I'm ready. Uno v uno. Now, I'm not lined up directly against him, but I know for a fact if he didn't come back to this ball, this would have definitely been a pick 6. But I end up making a tackle before he can go anywhere anyway. But one failure to capitalize on one opportunity doesn't mean there won't be another. The exact same route, this time from the outside receiver, I jumped this route perfectly, securing the pick for me and my guys. 3rd and 10 here in the 4th quarter. I got this bubble flat zone. I feel like I gave the quarterback the perfect look to throw this ball underneath, which he did, but to the wrong receiver. That was definitely a pick 6 in the making. Taking a look at my stats after games, I feel like it doesn't reflect my effort on field. 3 tackles on the day, 1 big time pick. Even though I played my role and did my thing and balled out pretty much, it's not enough to me. I feel like I got to step up and do more. We're here against Washington this week on the road, and bro, no action, literally 0 action to my side the entire first half. This is my first tackle of the game. One thing I'm starting to notice that is extremely annoying about these receivers in college, they love to run back to the ball. It's a good trait for the receiver, but it messes up so many pick opportunities. I could have caught this pick, but good thing my teammate was on top of it. Great play by my boy. Anytime I'm able to line up in front of a receiver in man coverage, I'm excited. I play it to perfection, getting perfect position, and for the first time this season, I can actually blame the rain on me dropping the pick, even though I know my hands are the reason. Even though we have an entire back half of a season to play, I guarantee you my main focus for this off season, for the summer, spring, all of that is to get better at catching the football. It's mandatory. As much as I hate being in these zones, I'm really starting to understand how to play them properly. Right here, I get in perfect position on 2nd and 10 for this pick, but the ball was placed so perfectly, I miss out. I make the tackle, but I failed to knock the ball out of the tight end's hand, and it results in a touchdown. It's 2nd and 6. I got man coverage down here in the red zone, a dream come true, but I'm feeling cocky, giving this receiver way too much space. He explodes to the outside, and I give up my 2nd touchdown of the game. My senior year in high school, I gave up a few catches here and there, a deep ball or 2, but never gave up a touchdown the entire year. And just here in this game alone, 2 touchdowns, and I get bound up the sideline for a potential 3rd touchdown, my sloppiest game ever. It's high IQ plays like this that really separate me as a corner. Yeah, I have a deep zone, but I see there's nobody else coming to my side of the field, and this receiver runs straight to the sideline. I run this route for him, damn near picking this ball off. It's 1st and 10. I got my eyes locked in on this outside receiver, and the second he's about to break my zone, I get my head around, lock in on the quarterback, the ball is in the air, I get my hips around, I get over and break this play up. Expert zone coverage by me. I've been focusing on getting better at zone coverage so much to the point my skills and man are starting to slack a little bit. This receiver ran a easy pickable route, but instead of planting my foot getting over to the sideline, I whip all the way around in the 360, and it results in a big play. And what just came out of my mouth? Doing everything I can to perfect my zone coverage skills. I get back in position, snag this ball, break a tackle, and what you almost witnessed was the longest pick 6 in the history of college football. And on the very last play of the game, it's 4 of us and 3 receivers down here, and somehow this receiver still manages to come down with this ball. If you ask me, that's very poor, pathetic effort on our part, but we secured a dub. First quarter action against number 22 ranked USC, and early on in the season I would have been so confused on what route to play, but the second I seen this guy run outside, I knew it was go time. Get downhill, make the play on the ball, big time pick, let's go. It's 2nd and 10, and I'm really starting to understand the concept of these bubble zones, and I sit right here on top of 2 routes. This quarterback throws the ball to the outside guy, I get downhill, pick up my 2nd pick of the first half. Finally back in man coverage, and it's to the wide side of the field. I know something is coming. This receiver runs a route straight to the sideline. I play it to perfection, but I dropped a pick. Of course, would have been my 3rd of the half. My dad has been stressing to me, do not allow my high IQ to build arrogance or cockiness as a corner. Stay true to your zone, play your man, and here on 3rd and 6, I go against all of that, and in turn, I give up a touchdown, a big one at that. I dominated the first half of this game, but my mistakes completely shifted the momentum. Now we're in the 4th quarter, staring down the clock with 12 seconds left in USC. They walk in for the game-sealing touchdown. My first multi-pick game of the season, and what could have been a legendary game for me individually. I let my cockiness and arrogance get the best of me, and in turn, we take a L here at home in what should have been an easy dub. Say what you want, I'm hard-headed, I don't learn from my mistakes, all of the above, but I do abandon my zone to get down here to make a play on this ball. I don't get the pick, but I do make the tackle. As a corner, I don't care what nobody says, patience is king. I'm sitting at the top of this route waiting for the ball to be thrown, and the second that it is, I get downhill and I make the most acrobatic interception of my football life. One of the most underrated, low-key toughest things about a corner is not guarding the slot, not guarding the #1 receiver, but tracking down these big body tight ends that can actually move across the field. Most games I'm getting 3 or less tackles, and it kind of bothers me a bit, but I think that just speaks to the fact that how great my defensive front is. My linebackers, my strong safety, they just go crazy, but anytime I can step in and get a tackle, it actually feels pretty good. The game is over, but that's not an excuse to just make terrible mistakes. I abandoned my zone early to come down here and secure this tackle. If that QB had any IQ, he would have dotted this up to the sideline, no hesitation. For the first time in what seems like a very long time, I actually have more than 3 tackles this game, 1 for loss, and probably my most impressive interception of my entire career. I finally get another opportunity to challenge for that #1 corner spot just before our last regular season game. And not only did I show up, I showed out. Straight up dominated this practice. When it's all said and done, I can honestly say I've earned this #1 spot in the depth chart. Even though it's before the last game, it feels great knowing that from here on out, as long as I'm here at Cal, I will be the #1 guy, locking up the #1 receiver every game. I'm pretty sure getting a win this week against Stanford will guarantee us a spot ranked within those top 25 teams in the nation. And with that being said, now being the official #1 cornerback here at the University of Cal, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure not only that we win, but we dominate. 2nd and 10, and by this formation, I was expecting run, but when they burst out and everybody just ran routes, it threw me completely off. But I played expert man coverage on this receiver to the point where the quarterback had to take off, and I tracked him down and still secured the tackle. It's late in the 4th quarter. We have a 10-point lead. We need a big play to put this game to bed, and who better to call on than your newfound #1 corner? And for like the 3rd time this season, I damn near pull off another miraculous pick 6. My first game in CB1, I displayed mastery in man and zone coverage. My 2nd multi-pick game of the season, I'm proving to everybody, not only here but in the country, that I deserve to be the guy, and I'm him. Pac-12 championship against UCLA, and out the gate, expert man coverage. And that QB decided to try me in the 1st quarter, and I instantly made him regret that big time pick. It's crazy to think Cal really wasn't on the map. They were one of the lower ranked teams in the Pac-12. Now we're one of the top teams in the nation with just the addition of me and a few others on this defense. We stepped up big time. Going into this game, I consulted with my dad. I was kind of honest with him, really transparent, letting him know, man, I'm kind of nervous. And he told me, son, go out there and play your game. Do what you do best. Make plays across the field and attack that ball. I'm coming out here on straight business. Just from that first pick alone, I noticed that this UCLA quarterback is very sensitive to bait. I sit on top of this route, let him make the cut. I get to the sideline, break this one up, no problem. Expert zone coverage. And later on in the 4th quarter, they come at us with a similar look, but instead of knocking this ball down, I'm gonna get back in my zone. I'm gonna play this one down to a T, and I'm gonna catch this ball for a toe tapping pick. And just like that, I secure my 10th pick of the season. And not only that, but I write my name in the record books. The most interceptions in a single season in Cal school history. A 10-3 record, a major improvement over last season. New guys came in like myself, balled out, stepped into our roles, and we did our thing. We are the Pac-12 champions. Taking a look at my final stats of my freshman season, I am an All-American. 31 tackles, nothing to sneeze at, but those 10 picks and 8 deflections are the highlight of the show. And to no one's surprise, my 10 picks are the most of any player in the entire country. But I'm looking forward to my sophomore season as a team and an individual. I'm looking to multiply my stats across the board, and hopefully we can sniff a national championship. It's my first official game of my sophomore season. I sat out week 1 to take care of a minor injury I suffered in practice, but the first chance I got here on 3rd and 14 to reintroduce myself as the #1 corner, I get my first interception of the season. And honestly, I hate that I couldn't play week 1. When your best player is forced to sit out against the number 8 ranked team in the nation, of course you're not going to play to your full potential. We took an L and we dropped from number 14 to 19 in the country. It's 1st and 10. My zone is the flats. I'm doing everything I can to get some depth, baited up a little bit, and this tight end does exactly what I want him to do. I come downhill full speed, secure the pick, and of course I take it all the way back to the crib for my first pick 6 of the year. A 3-score lead just in the first half, absolutely destroying FCS Southeast. And here on 2nd and 13, I get back in position, bait up this route, come downhill, get my 3rd pick of the half, and I take it to the crib for my 2nd pick 6. 3 total picks on the day, 2 pick 6s. Last season, my hands were so trash, I would have dropped at least 2 of them, if not all 3. But this year, my hands are on point, and so are my skills in man and zone coverage. It's 1st and 10 here against Oregon State. I got a deep zone, and I notice I have a severe size advantage over the receiver on my side of the field, so I'm going to give him a little more space than usual. And of course, with a deep ball this far upfield, it's going to be underthrown. I secure my first pick of the game. Let's go. Last year as a freshman, I hated playing zone coverage, but with all the work I put in and overall just adjusting to the way we play defense, I mastered playing zone coverage, and it shows, picking up my 2nd pick of the game. It's early in the 3rd quarter, and we already have a 3-score lead over a really good Oregon State team on the road. I think it's safe to say both sides of the ball came to play today. We get up out of here with the easy win today on the road, and you can count it 2 consecutive games with multiple picks. We starting off the year hot. Now remember, I had 10 total picks on the season all of last year, and through 2 games this season, I already have half of that. And if I keep up with this momentum, I know for a fact I'll be breaking some records soon. First possession of the game here against Arizona at the crib, and we in man coverage. I love this, giving this receiver some cushion, the quarterback the look he want. The ball got here way faster than I thought. I do secure the tackle, but I miss out on the potential pick 6. This year, I'm trying to establish myself as the leader of this defense, not only by catching picks and being a lockdown corner, but making those tough plays, shedding blocks, getting down, making tackles, all of the above. It's early in the 1st quarter, but I'm already starting to pick up on some tendencies from these receivers. The routes they love to run, these quick and short comebacks. It's like I'm close enough to get the pick, but the ball is getting there so quickly. We're down 17-0 midway through the 3rd quarter. Here on 1st and 10, we desperately need a big play. And who better to call on than the soon-to-be potential #1 defensive player in all of college football? They tried me deep, and I pick it off. And like I said, in no time, we'll be breaking records. With my 6th pick on the season, I break the school record for the most picks in a career just here in my sophomore season. Defensively, I understand we've given up 17 points, but we're not getting completely blown out. We're going into the 4th quarter, and it just seems like our offense just cannot compete today. We take a L at home against a team that had no wins under their belt. I had 9 tackles, I was all over the field, and I had a big-time pick that didn't result in a touchdown, which is just crazy. Offense had great field positioning. Hands down, one of our biggest matchups of the season. 2 Cali teams. We got USC on the road, and first play, they bomb me deep up the sideline, but I make up for the screw up with a forced fumble, and we recover. One thing that I was reminded consistently of from my coaches throughout the preparation for this game is that USC will try us deep, but constantly, consistently, they're going to try us underneath with these quick routes and quick plays. Neither one of our offenses have yet to touch the end zone. We're nearly halfway through the 3rd quarter. It's been a straight up defensive battle. We have to get a stop down here in the red zone, and with 3 receivers lined up on my side of the field, I know the ball is coming my way. I give this receiver some space, bait up this route, I get my first pick of the game, a big time pick, and somehow I get clipped with no call. Plays like this is prime example why zone coverage is not for the weak. I got a receiver on my side of the field, he's taken care of, but a guy coming from the opposite side of the field, I have to pick him up. He's not my responsibility. You can give up a big play and not even know it. I got the flats, and I got a feeling they're about to run that wide receiver screen. I get in position, I get the pick, and I take this one back 90 yards for the pick 6, untouched to secure the win against the Trojans on the road. I gotta say, as a defense, we showed up, came to play. Our offense has been stagnant, pretty much irrelevant these last couple of games, but 2 picks, 5 tackles, and a forced fumble on the day, I showed up, showed out when my team needed me the most. Robbery game this week against UCLA, another Cali team matchup, and after an uneventful first quarter, I finally get some action and I punish Keegan Jones. So far today, to my surprise, UCLA has been putting the ball on the ground a lot more than usual, but I love it though. It gives me a lot of opportunity to come down and get some tackles, some that I usually don't do. It's 3rd and 8, and they desperately need a first down. I get back in my zone, I sit and wait patiently. The second I see this receiver plant that foot, I get over towards the sideline, get in position, and secure the first pick of the game. And catching picks like that is prime example while watching film and studying your opponents is very important. I knew he wasn't running a go route or anything other than that out route towards the sideline. And all I had to do was get over there and make the play on the ball. I don't know what it is about our offense, but they continue to turn the ball over, giving UCLA the perfect field positioning. But to be at home and not have any points on the board is just outrageous. My defense, we continue to show up every single game. I don't think we've allowed more than 20 points yet this season, but our offense moving forward, I'm gonna have to get them a piece of my mind. We got to step up and execute, or we gonna lose out the rest of the season playing like this. After going scoreless last week, our offense comes in here to Iowa and put up a touchdown in the first quarter. You love to see it. So far this season, I haven't seen much of this, but this formation caught my eye. I know it's a screen. If I had taken off a second earlier instead of a tackle for loss, this would have been a pick 6. We're up 2 scores just in the first half, and I already have 2 TFLs on the day, but this receiver did a terrible, pathetic job trying to block me, and I pick up my 3rd. It's 1st and 10. I'm getting back in my zone, and I'm surprised at how slow this Iowa receiver is getting up the field. I didn't even have to leave my back pedal to secure this pick number 1 of the day. It's 3rd and 2. We're headed into the 4th quarter, and to my surprise, they don't run the ball here. They actually put it in the air. I get back in my zone, and I secure my 2nd pick of the game, barely having to leave my back pedal yet again. These receivers are dirt slow. This is easily my most dominant performance as a corner so far this season, getting picks, tackles for loss, and here on 1st and 10, I get back in my zone, sit patiently, and instead of going for the pick, I little boy this receiver and put that ball down in the turf. Our offense is finally starting to show up. They have a touchdown here in the first quarter against Colorado, and I'm going to kick this one off coming down full speed, getting the tackle for a 0-yard gain. No opportunity to make a play on the ball is coming my way because I'm going to give the quarterback the perfect look every time. I give this receiver so much cushion, get down, but he snatches the ball as I go for a diving one-handed pick. I recover, get the tackle, but man, that would have been crazy. We've taken some embarrassing losses so far this season, with a few of those being at home. Losing against 2-5 Colorado is just not an option. But with our offense being so stagnant, so dead, so unreliable, unproductive, I know if I want to be the face of this school, the face of this program, I got to step up and make the plays. But one thing about me, I'm always going to make a play when we need it the most. I give this quarterback the look thinking I'm going to play this receiver going towards the sideline, but little did he know I'm locked in on my guy. I come downhill, get this one-handed pick, and down the numbers I go for a pick 6 to take us home with the dub. That pick 6 took the life out of the Colorado fans. The stadium was dead silent from then on. We stepped up as a defense, did our thing. Offense didn't produce much, but it was enough to get the job done. Taking another loss at home this season is just not an option, but that mindset is going to be put to the test against number 8 ranked 5-1 Washington. My ability to make tackles going from my freshman season to now has gotten noticeably better. This QB keeps the ball on the read option. I get my hips around, swivel my head, I get down and get a big time tackle. It's 3rd and 11. I got a feeling they're finna try to hit us up the field something deep, so I'm getting back in my zone, but instead they run this weird, poorly executed screenplay that I damn near got close enough to pick off. Now this is what I like to see. Empty backfield, 4 receivers split wide and wearing man coverage. I'm gonna give this receiver so much cushion while I'm playing off man, get down, and of course I get the pick untouched. Add another pick 6 to my total on the season. One thing about having these flat zones, there's always some type of hole in the middle of the field. So instead of me just sitting here on top of the flats, I'm going to get over to the middle and it's going to result in a pick. Great execution, great zone play by myself. 5 tackles on the day, 1 for loss, 2 total picks, 1 was a pick 6. That's what happens when you play your zone, play your man. You do everything you can to give that bait or just be in the right place at the right time. I balled out. Kicking this one off against 1-7 Washington State on the road, and they run my way, and of course I'm gonna step in and make the big time tackle. We're playing way more man coverage this year and I love it. 2nd and 2, I'm playing off man per usual. I'm giving this receiver all the space in the world. The QB's taking his time, but he finally throws it. I secure the pick, taking it back to the crib for another pick 6. And I wasn't aware of this until now, but with that pick, I secured the new NCAA all-time record for the most interceptions in a single season. And it's crazy. I think it's been a true test for from our coaches, more specifically our defensive coordinator, putting us in man coverage against an extremely pass-heavy team, and we are showing up and we're balling out. And besides my pick six, offense came in here on the road surprisingly and put up 3 touchdowns on the day. I love to see it. If they can do this consistently, we'll be dangerous. Nearly 10 tackles on the day, 2 for loss, and a pick six. I balled out per usual, and I think just about every single game so far this season, I have at least 1 pick. We got Oregon this week, my dad's old school. At home, you know I gotta show out. 1st and 10, I get back in my zone. I secure my first pick of the game, and I take this one back, and the only thing in my mind, pick 6. I turn the Jets on to a whole nother level. And I think everybody on this team, coaches included, know how important this game is to me individually. I'm going to step up and do everything I can to ball. They're ranked number 7 in the country and they're 7-1. We have to step up. I told my guys we can't let up even in the slightest. I'm setting the tone all game. Big hits, interceptions, you name it. I'm doing it all. What I say about having these flat zones with 1 receiver, cover that hole in the middle of the field. I get in perfect position on 4th and 10, secure my 2nd pick, and you know I'm taking it to the crib untouched for another pick 6. Last play of the game, we completely blew Oregon out the water, but I'm gonna give this receiver a little bit of cushion, taking that risk, and it's gonna pay off. Come down, get my 3rd pick of the game untouched for a 90-yard pick 6. Anytime I play Oregon, I want to make a statement. Ball at the highest level possible, but not 1, not 2, but 3 pick 6s in a single game. That's how you ball. And if that ain't a statement, I don't know what is. Even though I've been dominating all of college football, to my surprise, I am currently 5th on the Heisman watch list, the only defensive player up here currently. Crazy to think, we were ranked at one point, got unranked, and now we're ranked number 9 in the country. Haven't lost a game in a few weeks. We're looking to keep that streak alive here against Stanford at the crib. 30 seconds left here in the half. I know for a fact they're gonna try to make their way into the end zone, but I ain't letting nothing fly my way. 1st and 10, I get in position, get my first pick, and with some great blocks in my navigation through traffic, I'm taking this one to the crib for 6. It's been smooth sailing so far. Offense balling out, defense is playing well. Here on 1st and 10, I'm playing off man coverage. I sit patiently knowing the ball is coming my way because I'm giving him all the space in the world. I get back in position. Give me that, my 2nd pick of the game. With the way I've been balling this season, everyone has to be shocked and surprised. Even though I'm the son of a legend, I don't think no one would expect me to do what I'm doing right now. And I might be able to do something my dad never did, actually win a Heisman Trophy. A rematch of the Pac-12 championship game. We spanked UCLA last season. We're looking to do the same this year. And midway through the 2nd quarter, I secured my first pick of the game, got me and the guys hyped. The last play of the first half, they run the hurry up and we're in man coverage, so I already know what time it is. Play off man, bait up, get in position, come down, get the pick, all the way to the crib untouched. Pick 6 to give us an extended lead going into halftime. After 2 picks so far in this game, I know they're going to be hesitant to put the ball back in the air. So anytime they get in formation to run this ball, I'm coming down full speed and I'm gonna make the play when it presents itself. I'm named player of the game with 5 tackles and 2 major picks, but what's most important right now, for the 2nd year in a row, we are kings of the Pac-12. Boy, a lot has happened in the college football world. Over the last 3 weeks, multiple teams have taken losses, the number 3 and the number 4 ranked teams in the nation, and somehow we skyrocketed to number 2 and we will be competing for a national championship. We have an opportunity to knock off the number 1 team in the nation and take home a natty. I'm gonna do everything I can, lay it all on the line and try to get this dub. Not a lot of action has come my way throughout this first half so far, but I'm going to do everything I can to step up, even when my teammates slack, but they got to step it up as well. We need to make plays as a collective group. One thing about it, I know for a fact, I have to be the one to set the tone, and being down 11 points midway through the 2nd quarter, it's now or never. I get in position, bait up this route, get to the sideline, I pick off the first ball of the game. I get clapped after the catch, but it's worth it. Been a few weeks, but it seems like our offense is back to their old ways, not producing when we need them the most in the biggest game of the year, the biggest game in college football, period. Defensively, holding the number 1 team in the nation to 14 points, what more could you ask? 6 tackles, 2 for loss, and a nice pick in the loss in the national championship. Not gonna lie, it hurts, but to be here, even though we weren't supposed to, it feels great. And I know we'll be back next season, but we won't be on the losing end of the stick, I promise you that. Taking a look at my stats from my freshman and sophomore season is night and day. 8 pick 6s, I doubled the amount of picks, 70 tackles. Going into my junior season, as a team, national championship. But for myself individually, I want that Heisman Trophy. It seems like yesterday. I was coming in here to Cal as a freshman, the third corner on the depth chart, and now here in my junior season, I'm known across the nation as the #1 player in all of college football. And here in week 1, we got San Diego State. I got this flat zone, I'm sitting off heavy, and the second I see this quarterback turn my way to dot this tight end, I come downhill full speed, pick up the first pick of the game, and of course, pick 6, the first one of the season. That's how you get things started. That pick 6 really set the tone. Offense took off and started putting up some points, but now we're here in the fourth quarter, and San Diego State walks in for a touchdown. We can't sleep on them just yet. And now here on the final play of the game, this is the most pathetic attempt I've ever seen to get into the end zone to cap off a game, but we secure the win. Anytime we get to play Oregon, it's exciting for me personally, for obvious reasons. And here on 3rd and 3, I get back in my zone, and they try me early here in the first quarter. I get my hands on this ball, but it's out of bounds. We got a 10-0 lead. Oregon's down here in the red zone, which is hands down the hardest place to guard receivers. And before I know it, a guy's coming across the field into my zone, picks up a touchdown. Nearly 3 full quarters into the game, and after that target in the end zone, they haven't come my way once. I feel like they got one up on me, and now I just got to come in, make tackles, and do whatever I can to make plays in general. It's 2nd and 9. We're here in the fourth quarter. We need to do everything we can to keep Oregon out of the end zone. They take off running the option, we blow it up, and before you know it, the ball is flying backwards. I dive on it before it goes out of bounds, putting us in a great position. Under a minute left here in the fourth, and we find ourselves right back in the same position. Oregon's trying to get in and score. After a big pass and completion, one of my guys come through with a big hit, causing the forced fumble to put this game away. Everybody loves a good Cali team matchup. We got USC at home this week, and here on 2nd and 10, I do a great job playing my zone. I don't secure the pick, but a 0-yard reception, that'll do. Coming into the season, I was a little bit worried about us as a team and the success we would have this season. Defensively, though, we're strapped from top to bottom, but on the offensive side, we've lost way too many weapons. And as for me personally, coming off a 22 interception season, my pops told me straight up, son, you will not be targeted that much this season. You need to be ready to make tackles and make plays in other ways. And even though it's early in the season, I'm already starting to notice exactly what he's talking about. Teams that we played, they usually air the ball out. They're putting it on the ground way more, avoiding me at all costs, targeting me here and there, but just overall, no action. No interceptions on the day, but 8 tackles, 1 for loss. I definitely stepped up, made plays where I needed to be, but as a defense, we played terrible today, and we're supposed to be one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the country. Make that 2 back-to-back games without a single pick. This week against Washington State, I'm taking out all my frustrations any way possible. And here on 3rd and 6, I'm playing off my zone heavy. The quarterback thought he had a look. I come down quick and get this pick. I snatch this ball away from the receiver to get INT number 1. A huge 3rd and 17 situation. We got trips on my side. I'm sitting back in my zone reading the play. I see the inside receiver come outside. He's running deep. I get in position. We both go up, and of course, I come down with the pick because that's how I'm feeling today. Fourth quarter action. 1st and 10, trips on my side of the field, the wide side at that. I'm on alert. I'm getting back in my zone, waiting patiently, give the QB that look, thinking the wide receiver got to step on me. No, sir. Elite speed, get back, receive the pick. It's over. So not only did I have 3 major picks on the day to make up for the last 2 games where I didn't get any action, but 9 tackles, 2 for loss. I was flying all over the field today. A true playmaker. First play, they try me out the gate. And of course, if I don't come down with the pick, the receiver definitely not coming down with a catch. Usually I do everything I can to stick to my assignment, play my zone, but times like this, when I know just by this play, this formation is going to be a run, I'm going to get in here, abandon my zone, and make the play. I know my opportunities to make plays on the ball are going to be limited against a run-heavy team, and the second I say that, they try me towards the sideline. I get there. The ball got there just before I did, but like I said, no pick, no catch. I'm not going for it. But even with limited opportunity, you have to stay on your toes. Here on 2nd and 7, I get back in my zone, reading the play patiently. This receiver thought he had a step, but of course, my patience, positioning, and timing is unmatched. I get the pick to seal the game. 5 tackles on the day, a pick towards the end of the game, a cakewalk against Texas. My guys stepped up and balled out on both sides of the ball. A pretty easy day for myself. Coming out here against unranked UCLA this week, and already offenses put up a touchdown early in the first quarter. You love to see that. Even though I look at myself to be a high IQ player, these route concepts are crazy. Guys coming from the other side of the field, the inside guy going outside, outside coming in. It's a lot going on. I slip up and give up a big catch in my zone. My stat sheet last season, I had 70 plus tackles, 20 plus picks, going crazy, but what I didn't have is a forced fumble. This season, I'm looking to change that with a bunch of big hits. 20 seconds left. We cannot allow a touchdown here. I'm playing my zone, making sure my teammates are good. I got my eyes everywhere, and the second I see this receiver get a glimpse of space, so did the quarterback. He put this ball right in the spot they pick up a touchdown. Down here in the red zone, pretty much in the exact same situation. Once again, I'm in my zone, I'm alert, but this UCLA quarterback finds his tight end DJ Justice wide open for the 1-yard touchdown, and they take the win. 6 tackles on the day, 1 for loss. I did everything I could to try to make an impact, but they completely avoided me. Threw a ball my way maybe once or twice during zone coverage, but other than that, no action. They just attacked my teammates. My frustration is at an all-time high. Throughout 6 games, I've barely had the ball thrown my way. But on a good note, that added frustration does help when trying to come down tackling some of these running backs. A scoreless game so far here through the second quarter, but here on 1st and 10, I peep it's a run. I take off immediately towards the backfield. I see this running back, we meet in a hole, and the way I'm feeling, I'm laying anybody out. A super pass-heavy team is running the ball more than ever, doing everything they can not to put the ball in the air. Our secondary is elite, but they know when you have the best defensive player of all time on the other side of the ball, you have to be careful. Okay, calling myself the best of all time is a little crazy. We all know my dad holds that title, but I'm the best in the world right now, and the fact that I got the college football world shook up like this speaks volumes. Going into next week, especially against Utah, an extremely pass-heavy team here in the pack, I will walk out of there with at least a pick or 2. My main goal today against Utah is to force them to put the ball in the air, and the best way to do that is to shut down their run game. So here early in the first quarter, a big hit on their quarterback, let them know, keep him in the pocket. It's 3rd and 4, we got man coverage, 3 receivers split wide. It's an obvious passing situation. I get back, give this receiver some space, and the second I see him sit down, I'm coming down. I get the pick, and ain't no man on this field gonna stop me from taking this one for 6. It's 1st and 10, they're trying to make their way downfield to get into the end zone before the end of their half, and of course, I'm sitting on top of my zone, cutting off the route over top, and I'm flying downhill to get this tackle for a short gain. Here late in the 4th quarter, Utah desperately needs to get into the end zone, and here on 3rd and 10, that off man is gonna do it for me every single time. The second I see this quarterback eyes look my way, I'm coming downhill with no hesitation, getting this pick, taking it all the way back to seal the game. One thing about it, I may go a game or 2 without a pick, but I will make up for it every time in a singular game. Add that to the total of multi-pick games I have on the season, we're going crazy. It's 2nd and 14 here against Oregon State, and one thing I'm starting to do when I have these flat zones, if there's no one in my area, I'm going to pick up on my teammates' receivers and help them out a little bit, but this could have been a potential pick if I played this correctly. Midway through the second quarter with an 11-point lead, it's 2nd and 8, this QB takes off, and I'm going to teach him the same lesson I taught Utah's quarterback last week. You better stay in that pocket or I'm coming to get you. It's 1st and 10, and I don't like this look at all. They got a million guys on the line, but I sit back patiently, waiting for this receiver to make his move. He takes that step outside. I know what time it is. I get over, get in position, 1 toe tap for the interception. It's now the 4th quarter, and we're beating the brakes off of Oregon State. This is hands down the most complete game we played as a team all season. We need to finish the year like this. 1st and 10 here against ASU. We got that off man coverage. You know I love this. I get back, give the quarterback that look, and of course I'm coming downhill blazing. I get the pick off to the sideline, hurdling in for the pick 6. Let's go. Under a minute left here in the first half. Of course they're gonna take a shot. We got man coverage, help over the top so I can be patient. We get back, stride for stride, and of course my teammate goes for the pick, but myself, the pick artist, I come down with it, and I get a pretty decent return. It's one of those days, zone coverage, man coverage, no matter what, I'm gonna get it done. Here on 3rd and 8, I'm sitting back in my zone, patient. I give the receiver that step outside, the ball is in the air. I get in position, get the pick. Perfect zone coverage from myself. It's 3rd and 8. They would be fools to put the ball back in the air, so my eyes are strictly on the backfield, and the second I don't see this running back get the handoff, I know what time it is. I bait up this zone, play patient, I get back, I get the pick number 4 on the day. Late in the 4th quarter, I got this flat zone, but one thing I know for sure, they've been going deep all day. I highly doubt anybody's going to come down here, and of course this receiver's running deep, no one's back here, but guess who is? Me. I pick up my 5th pick of the game, and I damn near take it back to the crib for 6. After walking to the sideline, teammates and coaches screaming at me that I broke the record. Come to find out, I am now the new holder of the school record for the most interceptions in a single game in Cal history. Don't get me wrong, I'm proud. I balled out, played out of my mind. 5 interceptions in the game is crazy, but a few more picks and I could have tied, if not broken, my dad's record for 7 in a single game. That's all I keep thinking about. For the first time in my 3 years here at Cal, we have an SEC team on the schedule today, and we all know how much they love to run the ball. It's 3rd and 11. It's an obvious passing down. We know the ball is going to be put in the air. I give this QB a certain look. He puts it up, but my ball tracking skills completely went away here. I do break up the pass, but this could have been an easy pick. And it's situations like that early in the game where I don't capitalize on one of very few opportunities I will get throughout the entire game, and it just bothers me throughout the rest of the day. 2nd and 2 here in overtime. We're expecting a run. We got help over top just in case they snap the ball. I'm following my guy across the field, but this tight end literally goes untouched, uncovered for the touchdown. And today is a prime example on why we will never win a national championship here at Cal. We're so inconsistent. A 5-4 Tennessee team walks in our house and takes the dub in OT? Ridiculous. Last year with 3 losses, we made our way into a national championship, but this season, now being ranked number 18 in the country, that's not happening. But big plays are still being made across the field as my teammate gets a pick. I love to see somebody else stepping up, making those type of plays. 4 receivers split wide and wearing man coverage. That off man is going to win every single time. I sit patiently, wait for the QB's eyes to look my way, and the second they do, I'm coming down full speed. I get the pick. This receiver drives me off my feet, but it doesn't matter whatsoever. One of the tougher things for me personally when it comes to zone coverage is reading the backfield while still focusing on my zone. And when you do it well like I do, you can come down and make big hits on quarterbacks and running backs the way I do here. But after that big hit, I was a little woozy, stumbling over my steps, and the training staff noticed. They pulled me off the field immediately. And of course, when you take me off this defense, we take a L to Stanford, 6-4 Stanford at that. And this 5-point win that Stanford is going to walk away with is mainly due to their running back, Bordeaux, their stud senior, with 143 yards on the day. We got the Holiday Bowl this week against North Carolina, but here on 1st and 10, they try to end the first quarter with a bang, going up the numbers deep. I get in position, get the pick. I almost spent my way out of it, but let's go. Seeing 2 running backs in the backfield is a little confusing. Haven't seen that look all year, but I know to be patient and sit in my zone. And the second this receiver takes that step outside, I get in position for the one-handed interception. 2 picks here in the first half, but yet they still have 4 receivers split wide. I know the ball is finna be thrown. I get in position, give that QB the look of his dreams, and of course I come down with my 3rd pick of the first half. On that last pick, me and the receiver's feet got tangled up, and even though my ankles are lightly taped, I suffered a bad ankle sprain and I couldn't finish the game. Despite me securing 3 interceptions in just the first half of this game, our offense managed to put up 0 points in a big time bowl game against a mediocre defense. I think it's time for me to transfer out of Cal. I've done tremendous things since being here, and I've established myself to be the greatest college football player in today's game, but I need to go somewhere we can win a national championship. So I guess the only question is, for my senior season, where should I go? The Ohio State is where I will play my senior season here in college, chase that national championship and that Heisman Trophy. Everyone questioned my decision to come here to Ohio State, and my response to that is why not? A very prestigious school here in the Big Ten and opportunity to win right now in my senior season. We got Buffalo week 1 here at home, 4th and goal down here in the red zone, and man coverage. I'm all over this route. Quarterback rolls out, I get the pick, and with my elite speed, without a doubt, I'm taking this one to the crib for my first pick 6 of the year. Last play of the first half, Buffalo's quarterback trying to put this one into the end zone. I get in perfect position for the pick. I spin my way out of traffic somehow, and at this point, I'm trying to put into the end zone. But before I know it, trying to cut back field, I'm getting tackled by a lineman. We got 4th quarter action. We're blowing these boys out as expected here at home. And of course, late in this game, they're trying to put the ball in the air, zone coverage. I'm all over this. Perfect bait, get in position, get the pick, and I got my 3rd of the game. Game 1 as a Buckeye is in the books. 3 minor tackles on the day, but 3 huge picks. 1 was a pick 6. Absolutely balled out. A classic KJ Franks Jr. performance. I'm looking to have plenty more of these throughout the season. Back-to-back home games this week against San Diego State, a more run-heavy team, and out the gate here on 2nd and goal, they're running the ball. I'm going to come down and make the big play. One thing about being here at Ohio State, I don't have to be such a helping hand here in the secondary like I did at Cal, but my helpful ways will give up a touchdown here on 3rd and goal. It's 3rd quarter, offense has yet to score. A big play needs to be made some way, somehow. I'm getting back in man coverage. I jumped this route like no other. I tossed this receiver, and I do everything I can. Gave it all I got to try to take this one to the end zone. The number 3 team in the nation takes a loss to an unranked school at home in the 2nd game of the season. After that clutch interception, San Diego State did everything they could to keep the ball away from my side of the field. I got to find other ways to get active out here because my team obviously needs it. We got them Golden Bears this week, and even though there's no bad blood, I'm looking to make a statement off the rip. The second I see this receiver sit down, I know what time it is. I get down with the pick, and off to the races I go, untouched, unbothered for the pick 6. It's a new season, but one thing about it, I know this offense and I know these players like the back of my hand, and wearing man coverage, that's just a plus. The second I see this receiver sit down yet again, my 2nd pick of the game, yes sir, let's go. This offense loves these complicated route combinations. 2 outside guys come in, inside guy comes out. I'm sitting on that all day. I come up with the pick and my eyes on the end zone the entire time. Pick 6 number 2. One thing about a game plan, once it's implemented, you can't just change up. So I already know what time it is. Patience, positioning, timing. I sit on this route, come down with the pick, my 3rd pick 6 picks of the day, I literally got this offense playbook in my mind. The only other school that could probably pull a performance like this out of me is Oregon. That's for obvious reasons, but my old school, the one that I built up for 3 solid years, I had to show out completely. We got FCS Southeast this week, hands down the easiest team to play on our schedule for the season, and this quarterback off rip throws the most oblivious pick you'll ever see. Going from the number 3 to rank the number 12 team in the nation in just 1 week obviously hurt, but without a doubt in my mind, by the end of the season, we can definitely work our way up back into that top 3 conversation. And aside from that, me being in pursuit of winning a defensive Heisman Trophy, I have to make plays all across the field, catching an insane amount of picks, but making those tackles, shedding blocks, doing everything across the field, that matters just as much. This team doesn't have any really elite weapons. We should be in man coverage. I'm still making tackles, coming down, making plays, but we need to be in man coverage. I guarantee I'll get a pick. And with a minute left here in the game on 3rd and 10, I get exactly what I asked for. This receiver tried to take off across the field, but with my elite speed, I come across, get down, pick up the interception, and off to the races I go. A pick 6 to put this game to bed. All black unis this week against the Badgers, and I can tell you right now, there's not one receiver in the country that's in the weight room enough to keep me from shedding blocks, coming down, laying the boom. We got a 4-point lead here early in the second quarter. Getting back into my zone, this receiver's running straight at me, full speed. Didn't have to get a QB too much of a look. I come down with the pick and I pull off a nasty return. Even sent the tight end flying out of bounds. It's 3rd and 8, an obvious passing situation. I'm gonna get back in my zone, extremely patient, and of course, this quarterback is so sensitive to my bait. I get in position, great hands, and I'm taking off to the end zone with great blocks up front. Pick 6. My favorite thing about being a Buckeye so far is the consistency of the offense. The opposing team has to put the ball in the air. When that ball is up, I'm coming down with it every time. Great blocks up front, elite speed. I'm going to the crib for pick 6 number 2. Good night. A quarter of the way through my senior season, and I already have more pick 6s through 4 games than I have in my last 2 seasons at the University of Cal. One of my goals for the year is to break my dad's all-time interception record. We're talking about 30 plus picks in a single season. And here on 3rd and goal, you can add this one to the total, making my way towards the middle of the field, going down for the pick 6. My IQ as a DB and just for the game of football in general has grown like crazy over the last 4 seasons. I understand how to bait these quarterbacks up and zone them man down to a T. Make that pick number 2 of the first half. It's 3rd and goal, and receivers down here this close to the end zone are extremely hard to stop, but I'm all over it. Down here in man coverage, I get in position to help out my teammate who gets beat. I get the pick and I pull off the craziest pick 6 in the history of college football. Sadly, that crazy pick 6 was taken back for an illegal block in the back. So here in the 3rd quarter, even though we're up 28-0, I'm gonna come up with another big play. 1st and 10, I'm in great position to get the pick. Quarterback throws an oblivious ball. Let's go. Early in my freshman season, I learned to never abandon my zone for any reason. But when I see this right here, one guy on my side, I got the shallow zone. I walk through the offensive line untouched to pick up my first sack of the year. The number of tackles that I finished this game with is the same amount of picks I've caught in the last 2 games. At this point, I'm on pace to have the most legendary season for a player ever. Last season, we all know what I did to Iowa. Absolutely destroyed them. And I have plans on doing pretty much the same today. But here on 3rd and 3, I'm tracking this running back down and I find myself laying the wood, putting him out of bounds. He almost took this to the crib. Their game plan last time I played them was to put the ball in the air and put it in the air deep. But today I see a curl route off the rip. Oh, that's like beauty to my eye. I get down, get the pick, and off to the races, untouched, unbothered for the pick 6. We're in the 4th quarter and we currently only have a 3-point lead. I need to make a big play to put the ball back into our offense's hands. So on 2nd and 9, I don't even bake this route much. I'm just in perfect position for the pick. Offense need to go down and score now. We needed a touchdown and offense came through and delivered with that great field position. And now we have Iowa pinned back into their own end zone, and with zone coverage and the receiver trying to go deep, I'm gonna make a play on that ball every single time, put this game away. Last year against Iowa, I had 3 picks. Today I ended with 3 picks as well, but I had to up the performance a little bit by adding a pick 6 in there. Early here in the 1st quarter against number 20 ranked Penn State, and the offense has already put one on the board, and that's a great sign against a strong opponent. It's situations like this as a corner, especially in zone coverage, that make or break you. I got a guy from the inside coming all the way across the field to me, but I see a guy underneath as well that's wide open. I do come down and jump the route underneath, but I should have stayed home. 3rd and 8, I got a deep zone and on the wide side of the field. I'm going to give this quarterback the look of his dreams. He's put this ball perfectly on the sideline, but my ability to track the ball, I come down with the pick, of course. In a situation like this, I would much rather be a man, but the second I see this receiver break towards the outside, I'm taking off ready for the ball, but the quarterback does the unexpected, puts it in the back of the end zone for a nasty touchdown. After giving up a big time touchdown, playing terrible zone coverage, I gotta make up for my screw up, so I'm gonna get back in my zone, play patiently. 2nd and 12, 30 seconds left, I come down with the pick to seal the game. I learned early in my college career that when you have a flat zone and nothing's there at the time, you want to track these guys across the middle of the field. And here on 3rd and 2, that pays off. I get the pick, taking it back for 6. This worked out perfectly. Up 21-0 here in the first half. It's 1st and 10. I'm getting back at the top of my zone. The second I see this receiver playing his foot, I know to get straight to the sideline. After I get this QB to look, I come down with a nice little spin off the pick. We're up 42-7 here in the 4th quarter. Any other team would have pulled their starters off the field immediately, especially with a blowout of this caliber. But I like how we're on the field and we're still trying to dominate all the way until the end of the game. This is maybe my 7th or 8th consecutive game with multiple picks, and going into next week, I'm looking to keep that streak alive. After a win last week, we didn't move at all in the rankings. Still currently ranked number 7, which isn't a problem. But here on the first play from scrimmage against Illinois, they tried me deep. I didn't get the pick, but I break this up. No pass will be caught on me at all. Illinois' quarterback knows he got off easy with me not picking that ball off, so they're probably going to put the ball on the ground the rest of the game, and I'm going to come down and make plays if need be. It's 3rd and 3. I'm expecting a run, so my eyes on the quarterback the entire time. The second I see him fake this handoff, my eyes light up. The ball is actually coming my way, but I come down and the ball isn't in my hands. I give up my 2nd touchdown of the year. We got 4th quarter action, and we need to go above and beyond and keep these boys out of the end zone. I'm giving it all I got, especially since I gave up a touchdown. Offense did step up late in the 4th quarter. We do pick up the win, but my streak of multiple picks and just picks in general comes to an end here. But next week, I'm on the hunt, picking off any ball thrown my way. It's damn near the 3rd quarter. Indiana's done everything they can to avoid me, so I'm heated at this point. So I come downhill full speed and lay a big hit on Sean Shivers. Indiana's been very careful throughout this entire game about putting the ball in the air, but here on 2nd and 4 man coverage, I'm sitting back and this receiver runs back towards the ball. If he stayed where he was at, that was a pick without a question. This game is nearly coming to an end, and I'm itching for a big play, more specifically a pick, and I finally get my opportunity here in zone coverage. I make this pick in the end zone, break a tackle, and there's not a soul on this field is going to stop me from taking this back for 6, the longest pick 6 in history. It's 1st and 10. I'm expecting a run, but with 4 receivers split wide, my eyes are peeled. I'm sitting in my zone patiently. I see this ball coming my way. You know I got to go up and snag that. Come down one toe for the pick. Multi-pick games are back. No action through the air nearly through 4 entire quarters, but I stayed patient, stayed on my toes, and all the opportunities I wanted came to me. With only 1 game left in the regular season, I had the opportunity, the potential to do something my dad never did, and that's to win the Heisman Trophy as a defensive back. Down 10 points here in the 2nd quarter against number 7 ranked Michigan, they gonna try me deep here in man coverage. I'm gonna get back, get the pick. I'm making big plays. Offense got to step up. We cannot lose this game. Down 3 points is 3rd and 14. I know they're looking to take a shot, but the second I see this receiver playing his foot and whip his head around, I'm on alert. I get down full speed and I have to make a crazy adjustment to get this pick. Michigan is putting the ball on the ground a lot more than I thought, and offense is struggling. But the second I see this receiver sit down, I see an opportunity to get into the end zone and put points on the board for my squad, and that's exactly what I do with a pick 6. At the end of regulation, it's a tie game. Now here in overtime, I got my deep zone, knowing J.J. McCarthy and his offense going to try to take a shot. But of course, give him that look. I get in position. I get the pick. Offense, go do your thing. 11 tackles, 4 picks on the day. One of those being the most important interceptions of my entire career, and a win against Michigan on the road. The Big Ten Championship, 1 game away from a national championship appearance. And here against Illinois, I'm looking to ball out crazy. But the first play from scrimmage, they tried me with a ball to the sideline. That's easy money. The first time we played Illinois this season, I ended that game with no picks. But today, I'm on the hunt. I'm getting back in position here in zone coverage. And of course, with my leaping ability and my hands and my hand-eye coordination in general, I'm going up snagging this ball for the pick. Now here in the 4th quarter, and we're blowing these boys out of the water. And I can't lie, I'm extremely hyped, even being on the field right now, knowing that I have the opportunity to win a Heisman and a national championship in the same season. Under 2 minutes left in this game, 1st and 10, we got man coverage on the wide side of the field. Of course, this quarterback's going to try me because he knows no better. I get the pick, take off towards the end zone, and I pull off the nastiest pick 6 of my entire career. Just a few weeks ago, we played Illinois for the first time this season, the only game throughout the entire year where I had no picks. Oh, but today, I gave them boys a 3-piece and a pick 6. When you finish a college season as a cornerback with 34 interceptions and 13 pick 6s, they'll have no choice but to crown you the Heisman Trophy winner. After winning the Heisman Trophy, all that was left was to make it to a national championship. And even though we only lost 1 game throughout the entire season, we will not be playing in a national championship game. I feel like we were completely stripped away of our national championship hopes. We deserved it more than anybody, but with us playing an unranked team in our final game of the season, that kind of screwed us in the way, but I still feel like we should have been in there. Even though I couldn't win a national championship like my dad, I did do something that he couldn't, and that's win the Heisman Trophy as a cornerback. And I broke his record for most interceptions in a single season. A 10-point lead here late in the fourth quarter in the Rose Bowl. I'm playing to the end. This is my final collegiate game. I go up and get my second pick, and I'm not done. I'm going into the finish line. The final play of my college career, and I'm gonna bait my zone up more than I ever would, giving this quarterback the look of a lifetime. But of course, with my speed, I get in position for the pick, desperately wanting to take this one in for a pick six. A 13-1 record, I win the Heisman Trophy, and we pull off a blowout win here in the Rose Bowl. Now that I'm preparing for the NFL draft, I can leave college with confidence, saying that I put together the most dominating season for a college football player ever. With the #1 pick in the NFL draft, the #1 cornerback in college football history, myself, I get picked up by Bill Belichick and his Patriots organization. And with everything they gave up to pick me up #1 overall, they want me to come in and be a dog off the rip as CB1 on this team. But here in week 1, we got the Eagles, one of the most loaded teams in the NFL. But here on 3rd and 6, I got this soft squat zone. I'm going to read Jalen Hurts like a book. I'm going to come down in this ball and pick up my first official pick of my NFL career. Now midway through the 3rd quarter, I got a deep zone here on 1st and 10, but I peeped the handoff. And trying to tackle these backs in the league got me missing college a little bit. These boys don't go down easy. My first career NFL game at home, and we take an embarrassing L. Offense got completely shut out. But the last chance I get to take a hit on DeAndre Swift here, I'm going to make sure it counts. This week, we have the most explosive offense in all of professional football, but my secondary, we have the toughest assignment we'll probably face all year. Tie game here in the 3rd quarter. I got Tyreek Hill here in man coverage, and trying to keep him from exploding underneath, he takes off on the outside. A poor tackle attempt from me and a broken tackle from Jabril Peppers turns into a touchdown for the Miami Dolphins. But one thing about it, my mistakes don't make or break me. After a late adjustment here on 3rd and 5, Tua tried to hit Waddle right here on a quick route. I make a crazy adjustment coming back to the ball, coming down with the pick. It's only my second NFL game, and we're already here in overtime, and with one receiver split wide, they run the ball, and if I didn't get here and make this tackle, this probably would have went to the crib for 6. In my entire football life, I've never played against a receiver with Tyreek Hill's speed, so I'm playing real conservative, trying to keep him from making cuts inside, but he gets outside yet again, makes an insane catch, but the refs mark him out of bounds. And with no hesitation after the play, that red challenge flag came flying off Miami's sideline, and after reviewing the play, Tyreek was in bounds and he had possession. We take the L to Miami in week 2. After giving up the game-winning touchdown last week, I've been going 10 times harder in practice. Even though it was against Tyreek Hill, one of, if not the best receiver in the league, it just don't feel good. I got to tighten up. The way that I've learned and developed to play man and zone coverage back in college is nearly useless here in the league. These receivers are on another level. I got to revamp my whole entire mindset and just way of play. We got the Jets this week, and I'm playing more of an off-man coverage here on 2nd and 5, but with how fast the quarterbacks get rid of the ball and how well these receivers run their routes, it's tough to make a play on the ball. So far, my transition from college to the league has been pretty smooth, but the one thing I struggle to really wrap my head around is how fast quarterbacks get rid of the ball in the NFL. But after that last play, coming through helping my teammates secure that tackle, I came down on my ankle a little weird, and my teammate stepped on it at the same time, and it instantly swelled up like a baseball. So I sat out the rest of the game, and we take our 3rd straight loss. But luckily, it was a minor ankle injury, and before you know it, I was back on the practice field getting ready for our next game, picking off every ball that Mac Jones put in the air. Face-to-face, man coverage against one of the best young receivers in the league. I'm in for a challenge today, but here on 1st and 10, Dak and CD would connect over the top, right over my head, just a step away from securing that pick. Back in college, I love man coverage, but coming into the league, having to stop the #1 guy on every team week in and week out has made me fall in love with zone coverage, and it's a lot easier to make plays in these situations. Down 4 points just before the half, we got Dak in an empty gun look. We know the ball is about to be put into the air. He connects with one of his guys, and after a terrible tackle attempt from Jabril, I have to step up and make the play. In college, I was the master of bait, but since entering the league, I've been trying to play my assignment and stay true to my zone as much as possible. But down 12 points in the 4th quarter, I'm trying to bait up my zone and get a pick on Dak, but the ball came so quick, I couldn't even get in position. Coming back from this injury, I'm hyped this week against the Saints, and they have an extremely explosive wide receiving core, but I'm ready. Down 7 points here in the 2nd quarter, 3 receivers split wide on my side of the field. They all run goals just for Carter to dump the ball off to Kamara, and I come down and lay a big hit just as he thought he was going to take off. 3rd and 3, I've studied this formation throughout the entire week. We got Michael Thomas lined up on the outside. I know what's coming. I sit right on top of this route. I come down with my 3rd pick of the season. Let's go. One thing I've noticed so far about the league that's a lot different from college, a lot of the plays seem predetermined, but the execution is on another level. So it's like, you know what's coming, but if you don't play it correctly, you will get exposed. Late in the 4th quarter, we're down 7 points still. Defense, we're holding our own, but the offense haven't done anything the entire day. With Alvin Kamara, he'll take this one up the middle and get a touchdown to put this one to bed. Not gonna lie, I thought I was 100% healed from my little ankle situation, especially after coming down with a pick in our last game, but it's been bothering me a lot lately in practice and just in general. Before our game against the Raiders this week, I was already told that I would be taking limited snaps this week just to get a feel for things, and even though I hate that, I gotta do what's best for this defense, most importantly this team, and not play out here injured. And aside from that, I got one of the, if not the best receiver in the league this week in Tay Adams, and I don't even get to guard him for a full game, but the first half, I did a pretty good job shutting him down. I'm back and I feel 100% healthy. We got Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen in the Bills this week, and we're looking to come in and get our first win of the season. There's no way we go out on the L, and we're at home. It's 3rd and 11 and I'm manned up with Diggs on the outside. He's determined to get upfield and go in for a touchdown. Josh Allen put a bunch of air into this ball, but my makeup speed is insane. I get back, secure the pick, and take this one back for 31 yards. We're midway through the 3rd quarter, and at this point, we need offense to step up because defensively, we're holding our own. But with a bad ball from Josh Allen here on 3rd and 6, we come up with another 3-and-out situation. And just like that, our prayers have been answered. Late in the 4th quarter, offense went down and put up some points, and what almost turned into a great play by Diggs turned into an even better play by me. I laid a hit on him midair, and he for sure dropped that ball. It's 1st and goal, and as a defense, we're expecting a run, but to our surprise, they actually throw the ball, and a wide open receiver in the middle of the end zone turns into a tip pick for our defense, and we put the ball right back to our offense's hands. Somehow, offense did not run out the clock, and 13 seconds is way too much time for Diggs and Josh Allen, but while I'm strapping up him on one side of the field, my teammates are on the same type of time on the other. They pick up an interception, nearly take it back for 6, and we pick up our first win of the season. We're just about here at that halfway point of my rookie season, and one thing no one can say is that I didn't transfer to the league pretty well. Yeah, it hasn't been perfect, but my ball skills still on point. I'm catching picks, still balling out, doing my thing. Our second matchup with the Dolphins this season, and yet again, I got a matchup with the fastest man in the entire NFL, and it just seems like he's always a couple steps ahead of me. I'm almost right there in place to make a play. It's 1st and 10 down here in the red zone with Tyreek lined up inside on top of the numbers. I know he's gonna run something outside towards the sideline. I read it perfectly, but with perfect ball placement and a great route, I can't even get here to make a play on that ball. It's like I'm out here playing scared. I'm playing super conservative, trying to keep them from breaking anything off in the inside, and I always give up the big play on the outside. I get back and make the tackles, but I need to be in position to make plays on the ball and get more picks. And that little ankle injury I had before, it just continues to haunt me. It'll swell up from time to time, and trying to keep up with a receiver like Terry McLaurin, especially when he's breaking on the outside like this, I feel like I re-injured my ankle all over again. And trust me, as much as I want to be out here in the field, playing with my guys, proving to everyone why I was the #1 pick in the draft, I need to get off this field, let the trainers know that I'm not really feeling it, and I need to get this taken care of ASAP because it'll only hurt me down the road. But the crazy thing is, I know I can be a great player, not only in my draft class, but in the history of this game at this position. But the scary thing about it all, I don't want to be one of those players that could have been and it was riddled by injuries. Now, as far as my ankle injury goes, I just feel like it's more of a day-to-day. Some days I'm feeling it, some days I'm not. But for the most part, one thing I know for a fact, I don't want to sit out any more games. Maybe a half, maybe a quarter, but not playing at all, it's just not an option. We got the coach this week, and trying to shut down AR, Pittman, and the rest of these guys is definitely going to be one of our bigger challenges of the season. Like I said before, I feel like I play a little more fearful of these receivers' speed than I should. I get back, I play perfect man coverage. I know where the ball is going to be thrown. I know the route is going to be ran, but this receiver gets me completely turned around. I got to get on point. Currently, I lead the league in interceptions as a rookie, but I continue to make mistakes. Here on 1st and 10, Pittman beats me to the back of the end zone, and thinking I have enough space to get back and make a play on this ball, AR put this ball on the money. And another huge difference that I've noticed coming from college, the receivers in the league actually attempt to block you. I'm used to getting off scot-free, making big tackles on running backs and just other receivers going crazy, but I got to completely avoid guys, miss tackles, and get opportunities late. It's 4th quarter with a minute left. We currently have a 3-point lead, 3rd and 3. We're doing everything we can trying to keep these boys from securing this first down, and I got to do everything in my power to get back in position to make a tackle and stop this first down attempt. 3rd and 5 here in overtime. I'm in that off-man coverage against Pittman. He's going to run a quick route into the outside. I'm thinking of him to come over and make a tackle, but that speed is just another level here in the league, and he takes off up the sideline for a touchdown to win the game. At this point, I have to do everything I can to finish off my rookie season on the most positive note possible. We've taken multiple L's, but 2 of them have been solely on me. There's a few things I need to tweak within my game. Some of these things can't be fixed just here in this season, but a lot of minor adjustments can be made so I can increase my chances of locking down some of the better receivers in the league and not continue to give up big touchdowns. And like I said before, currently as a rookie, I'm leading the league in interceptions, but I got to stop playing scared. I got to lock in and play with pure confidence. If I do that, mix that with my ball skills and just a few tweaks in man coverage, I'll be dominant, playing better than any corner in this league. It's sad to say, we might not make it into the playoffs this season, but one thing I can promise myself and this organization, in these last 8 games, I'm going to do everything I can to walk away with at least 1 pick, make a mark on this league that can't be erased. With 7 games left here in my rookie season, I got to step my game up and take it to a whole nother level. And part 1 of that is getting involved in the return game. And on my first punt return of the season, I'm going to take this all the way back to the crib for 6. We're up 7-0 early against the Giants this week. And even though they don't have the most exciting receiving core in the league, you can't underestimate the talent they have at that position. It's 2nd and 2. My guys lined up inside. That tight end is offset just a little bit. I know exactly what's coming. I give them a step ahead. I keep my inside leverage. I get back for the crazy one-handed pick. Damn near had a lane to take this one back for 6. Now with me getting that pick early, I'm not worried about these receivers at all, but Saquon Barkley, that's going to be our biggest problem, a dual threat through the air and on the ground, but I'm going to set the tone early with a big hit on him. It's 3rd and 10. I know they want to take a shot deep. I keep my inside leverage, stay stride for stride with Sterling Shepard all the way up the field, and just as the ball is about to land, I put my hands right over his head to pick up pick number 2 of the day. And for the first time today, the Giants are actually in the red zone, and throughout this entire game, I've been running Sterling Shepard's routes for him, and I do the same thing here on 2nd and 6. I get in perfect position for my 3rd pick of the game, but it gets called back for illegal touching. 2 picks on the day. We getting this back half of my rookie season started off perfectly, and I want to finish it off the same way, going crazy with a bunch of interceptions. We got the Chargers in this explosive offense today, and trust me, trying to contain Austin Eckler is going to be a real challenge for our defense today. If you ask me, the Chargers got one of the most underrated receiving corps in the entire NFL. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and Quentin Johnston, any one of these guys can pop off and go crazy at any time. I'm lined up one-on-one man coverage with Mike Williams, a big body receiver. I lose my inside leverage. He comes down with a big catch, and without help from Jabril, he probably would have threw me off and went for a touchdown. 1st and 10 here in man coverage. This time around, I'm trying to keep a little more depth than usual, but Mike runs a quick route underneath, and I get hands on him just in time to make him drop this ball. But not only do I have to deal with Mike, I got to deal with one of the best, most underrated receivers in the league, Keenan Allen. He runs a quick route underneath, but I get hands on him to get the PBU. I'm balling right now. 2nd and inches, we got a man blitz situation. Trying to maintain my depth to keep Keenan Allen from going over the top, but Justin Herbert's going to find his tight end wide open, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. It's early in the 4th quarter, and at this point, we're just getting blown out by the Chargers, but I'm going to continue to play hard through that final whistle. I get a huge hit on Eckler. I don't know how this wasn't a safety. Every game where I don't walk away with at least 1 pick, we always seem to lose. As a defense, we have to create takeaways, and with me being the best player on this defense, I got to step up and make plays like no other. So from here on out, I won't walk away a single game without a pick for the rest of this season. We got the Steelers this week on the road, another team with a bunch of young talent, Pickens, Deontay Johnson, and Najee in the backfield. We got to step up and ball today. 2nd and 6, I got man coverage with Deontay Johnson. He runs this route immediately to the sideline. I drop my head running full speed. I come up with the pick all the way back to the crib for a pick 6 early in this game. Wherever Deontay Johnson goes, I go. He's lined up on the left side, split wide. I'm maintaining my depth. I give him a slight step outside to give Pickens that look, and I go up high up top to secure my 2nd pick of the game. 2 picks in the 1st quarter, I'm going ham. Deontay's going to run a quick route underneath here on 1st and 10. I come down, lay a big hit to let that boy know I'm not playing at all today. With only a 3-point lead here in the 2nd quarter, Najee's going to take this handoff in another 1st and 10 situation, but this time around, I'm going to come down and lay another big hit on him. I'm smacking everything on the field today. Been studying film like crazy. Anytime I see Deontay Johnson lined up wide on his left side, I know what's coming. My eyes are on Pickens though. I'm baiting this route up. He puts it up thinking he got that look. I'm going up to snag number 3 on the day. Under 30 seconds left in this game, and I'm hoping that Pickens throws it my way because I know I'm going to get a pick and take it back to the crib. But instead, he's going to find his tight end wide open in the back of the end zone, and they'll secure this win. As a team, we caught 6 interceptions. I caught 3 alone. That was 6 opportunities for our offense to go down and score, and they only managed to put up 17 points throughout the entirety of this game. Pretty pathetic. Personal game of my career, and it's against the reigning Super Bowl champions, and they kicked this one off running that delayed stack formation. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for it next time. It's later in the 1st quarter. They're back in that triple stack formation. I know exactly where the ball is gonna be. The second Kadarius Toney takes off after Kelsey, I'm all over it. I get the pick. Come on, man. I watch film. 1st and 10, we got man coverage. Tony's lined up just inside the numbers. I'm thinking he's gonna run a streak into the end zone. Instead, he cuts this one out, and his quick feet I couldn't keep up with on this play. I get back and secure the tackle though. 3rd and 1, 2 minutes left here in the 1st half, and they actually run something I haven't seen all year thus far, a screenplay. We're all over it, but they do secure the 1st down. So far, this game is looking like it's going to be a straight up shootout to the end. Kelsey's going to catch a ball across the middle, but I'm going to come through and take them legs out. I was not finna go head to head, toe to toe, none of that with big boy. Down 3 points here early in the 4th quarter. It's 2nd and 10. I got Tony lined up wide. He runs a route across the middle, but I see the ball coming my way. I make a play on it, saving my teammate from giving up a 1st down. 87 points scored in this game. Shout out to our offense. They played well, but defensively, we played horrible. Mahomes had nearly 500 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. My assignment this week on the road in Denver against the Broncos, shut down one of the most elite young route runners in the entire NFL, Jerry Jeudy. Third and long situation, I know Russ is going to do everything he can to put this ball in his number one playmaker's hands. He sits down on this route, I come downhill, get the PBU, let's go. I'm feeling like I want to check us into a zone right now. We got Hamler and Jeudy on the same side of the field with an offset tight end in a stack formation. They run the screen. If I would have went into a zone, this probably would have been a pick six. Having great makeup speed, especially being here in the league against some of the faster, more elusive players in the entire world, is very key. Jeudy runs a route to the outside, but my elite speed, being able to get back in position, I get the PBU, he's locked down. Down 7 points here in the second quarter, I completely box Jeudy on this route. Russ is going to take off trying to secure the first down, but before he could even slide, I take them legs out. It's 2nd and 7, Judy's on the other side of the field running from the smoke, and my guy here, oh, he's finna get strapped up. He runs a route straight to the outside and I'm all over it. Russ throws a great ball, but I play it even better. I come down with the pick, and at this point, I'm trolling every Bronco fan in the stadium. By no means am I saying this Broncos defense is trash, but for Mac Jones and our offense to only put up 6 points nearly through 4 quarters is outrageous. Only giving up a few receptions on the day, I've been the epitome of a lockdown corner this entire game. 2 picks, a bunch of PBIs, I've been all over it. Judy's been completely annihilated. My second snow game in the league, on the road this time against Buffalo, and I'm guarding a top 5 receiver in the entire league, Stephon Diggs. Man covers with Diggs on the left side of the field, split right outside the numbers. He's taking off upfield. I'm right on his hip. Allen put this ball in the air, and I make this insane catch, stayed in bounds for the pick. We're up 7 points here in the third quarter, not trying to take back-to-back L's. I'm getting involved in everything that I possibly can. I run this punt return to the right, cut it back left. I get a huge return, put our offense in great field position to go and score. The kick out the fourth quarter, we got a 10-point lead, and off the rip, the big boys up front gonna put some pressure on Allen, causing him to throw this one away, and Gabriel Davis getting in my face. I guess he don't like being strapped up. Today, both sides of the ball are firing off on all cylinders. In my secondary, we own Josh Allen. He's gonna throw a pick straight to my boy Marcus Jones, and he gonna take this one in for a pick 6. After coming off a 2-game losing streak, I'm proud of the guys. We came in here this week against one of the better teams in the league. Offense showed up, and the defense shut them down. At this point, I'm just trolling Diggs, leaving him wide open off the line. Josh Allen's gonna actually put this ball in the air. He must have forgot I got some of the best speed in the entire NFL. I get back for my second pick on the day. We got Aaron Rodgers in this new look Jets team, and Breece Hall is back from his ACL injury, and the first thing I'm gonna do is go straight for them knees and put that boy on the ground. Lined up playing extremely off man here against Mecole Hardman, a real deal speedster. He gonna run a route underneath. I'm gonna get the tackle, but I'll be damned if I allow him to get upfield on me. It's 1st and 10, got these boys pinned back on their own 25. Mecole's gonna run that same curl route again, sit down. I'm coming full speed, getting this interception on Aaron Rodgers, taking this one back to the crib. I just picked off a legend. We got a 10-point lead here on the first play of the third quarter. 1st and 10, Aaron Rodgers is going to drop back. He's going to throw his second interception of this game. The last few weeks, I've been going crazy in the return game. I'm going to get involved today against the Jets, and I'm going to take this one around the right side, and that speed always going to kill every time. I take this one back for a touchdown. Our offense playing at an extremely high level, and as a defense, we're just trying to match that level of play. They do secure the first down here, but I take this tight end's legs out before he can take off for the really big play. Playing inside heavy on 1st and 10, I got safety help over the top, so I'm not worrying too much for anything deep, but I sit cross, I give him a few steps across the middle, I make an insane diving catch for my second pick of the game. I'm balling. There's no better way to finish the season than a win at home against a great team. If we can go into next season with this type of momentum, there's no way we miss the playoffs 2 years in a row. Don't get me wrong, I believe in myself as a cornerback more than anybody. I know I'm a dog, but if you would have told me as a rookie I would secure Defensive Player of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year honors, I would have told you you're crazy. I balled out this season. As a team, we didn't have much success, but as an individual, 53 tackles, 15 picks as a rookie leading the entire NFL. Going into my second season, I'm looking to ball out on an entirely different level.